Welcome to the Militia gaming community. I'm Trigger, and we have a new game mode, well, new-ish game mode for Need for Speed Unbound. Let's go! Before I get into the video, I just want to say thanks for tuning in. I know there's tons of Unbound content being made right now because the game's in its hype cycle. I'm trying to keep these videos as short as possible so that I can deliver the best information and analysis I can without taking up too much of your time, because I know there's just a lot to watch. So thank you so much for being here. Let's get into it. Well, I can't say that I'm super excited for this drop because it seems like they just featured one of the smaller game modes, but we do have a quote-unquote new mode coming to Need for Speed, and it's called Takeover. If I was you, I wouldn't get too hyped about this, even if you see other channels hyping it up, because it's not really that big of a deal. It seems like a secondary game mode. But let's go through what it is based on the trailer and what Jeff Braddock said in the EA Creator Discord server. It's basically a stunt mode on a closed course where you have to hit barrels, perform jumps, drifts, and other stylized maneuvers to gain points against 3 other racers, presumably AI, but possibly against other real players, and we should know the answer to that on Thursday with the next Under the Hood article. After seeing the gameplay though, the reason I'm not too excited about this is because from what we can see, it doesn't really show any type of real innovation. It's basically the same stunt mode that exists in the Crew 2. It will obviously have a Need for Speed spin on it, but it's not really new. I also don't think that this will be a main game mode. Just like the drift events in Need for Speed Heat, most of the players did not play those events regularly. Obviously, players who were extremely good at drifting or just enjoyed drifting a lot played them with the intention of maxing out their score, but I'm not really referring to them. The general player base did not play those events very often because they were a secondary event and not a very efficient way to make money. With this takeover mode in Need for Speed Unbound though, I think it will be the same thing, although I hope I'm wrong. I hope that the rewards are good enough to keep the players engaged, and I hope that it's good enough to make players want to complete all of them across the map. Jeff Braddock claims, and I hope I'm saying his name right, Braddock or Braddock, I don't know. Jeff Braddock claims that the rewards will be a mixture of bank and cars depending on which takeover you complete. So at the very least, the player base will be completing the ones that unlock the cars. Anyways, let's take a closer look at the gameplay itself, because in the middle of the screen you can see what you're getting points for. And I looked at all of the frames, and what I could find is that you get points for smashing into barrels or smashing into objects, reaching checkpoints, drifting, using boost, and then airtime. And you also get combo bonuses, which are kind of hard to tell how exactly you earn those, but it's obviously from performing back-to-back stunts or stunts at the same time. So like hitting barrels in the air, or using boost in the air, or using boost while drifting, you know, that sort of thing. Also, you get penalized for smashing into the wrong stuff, so there's only certain things you need to hit. It doesn't show exactly what the player hit that made him lose points, but my guess is that it's the course barriers, like the external barriers. If you hit those, you will get penalized. You have to actually hit the specific objects that give you points. It will be interesting to me to see if this game mode produces some sort of really good money-making method. Like in Need for Speed Heat, some of the other external activities were actually a better way to make money than just to simply race. So this might be a way to make a lot of money fast, and I'm very excited to actually try that and bring that information to you once I figure it out. But aside from that, this mode is just okay. I don't really get the feeling of being more hyped up because this mode exists in the game. I really wish they could feature some of the more multiplayer focused things so that I can get way more hyped about that. But anyway, there's another notable thing that ran through my mind as I'm watching this trailer, and that's that they're featuring the RSR, which leads me to believe that they did not address it. I know that's a weird stretch, but let me explain what I'm thinking. So put yourself in the shoes of the developer in charge of this project. Your job is to make a new Need for Speed game with as little resources as possible, because it's a business and it's about profit, right? One of the things you do is use the same car models and code from the previous game to save you time by not having to build all of the cars from scratch. Now, if you've been paying attention to the community feedback, you would know that everyone thinks the RSR is broken because, well, it's broken. but also you wouldn't feature it in one of your gameplay videos leading up to the release of the game. You would hide that car so far in the back that even an eagle couldn't spot it. But here it is, front and center for this drop, and so my guess is that they did nothing to fix this car, and it's probably going to be OP in this game as well. Now, of course, I'm just speculating, and I absolutely could be wrong, but it is fun to make predictions and see if I'm right. Alright, and that's really it for this one, guys. Kind of short and sweet. I appreciate everyone's time, and thank you so much for watching. And of course, shout out to all the Heat 5 members of the channel. You guys are literally insane, and I cannot believe how much support you guys are giving me. I really appreciate that. I'll catch you on the next one. Trigger out.